When you think of a supercar, brands that often spring to mind are Ferrari, Porsche, Lamborghini and McLaren. However, McLaren Automotive was only formed in 2010. So where did all this innovation and technology come from? For this, we need to look back at McLaren's involvement in racing. Bruce McLaren first raced in 1966 at the Monaco Grand Prix, but the team's first win didn't come until 1968 at the Belgian Grand Prix. Bruce McLaren tragically died in 1970 at Goodwood whilst testing, but the team was taken over by Teddy Mayer and went on to win their first Constructors' Championship in 1974 with Emerson Fittipaldi. In 1976 they won the Drivers' Championship with the flamboyant James Hunt. However, in 1981 McLaren merged with Ron Dennis, and this was the start of the team's most successful era. Using Honda engines, Alain Prost and Ayrton Senna dominated the season in 1988. In fact, McLaren won the Drivers' and Constructors' Championship in 1988, 89, 90 and 91. It was around this time that Ron Dennis and the team thought about developing a road car. The F1 was launched to the world in 1992 with 3 seats, a naturally aspirated V12 developed by BMW, and was the first production car to use a carbon fibre chassis. In 1998, Andy Wallace set a production car world record, hitting a peak speed of 243 miles an hour. But fast forward to 2010, and McLaren Automotive was set up to build a mass-produced supercar. The 12C was launched in 2011, and the key success to this car was the use of a carbon fibre monocell, which they'd managed now to produce in only 4 hours, down from a staggering 3,000 hours for the F1 road car. This made the car extremely light and rigid. McLaren also carried over the dihedral doors from the F1, which remain one of the biggest selling points to many owners. What really makes the McLaren stand out from the competition, in my opinion, is the suspension, which uses a clever independent hydraulic system. When normal mode is selected, it manages to drive nearly as smoothly as a Rolls-Royce, but when you switch it into track mode, it can attack any race circuit in the world. The P1 hypercar was to follow in 2012, before the 12C was replaced in 2014 by the 650S.
Welcome back to the AAA MF YouTube channel. Today we're at Bentwaters Park in Suffolk, which is quite far from London. I don't know exactly where. Tim?
No idea.
No idea. But we came here last night and we got a really special video for you today. Now, McLaren is my favourite car brand. I've had a Ferrari, a 360 Challenge Stradale, and I've had lots of Porsches in the past, but McLaren is my favourite brand, and I'm going to explain why today. Now, I started off with a 12C, and I then went on to another 12C, so I had a white one and then a black one, and then I bought a 650S. So today I brought along my 650S, and I've also been trolled quite a lot on Instagram and YouTube, and people always say, why don't you upgrade? So I honestly don't think you need to upgrade from a 650, but there is a 675 LT behind us, and there is a 720S behind us. So what we're going to do is we've brought the 650S along just as a benchmark, and we're going to have a little bit of fun today. So I think what we're going to start with, which everyone wants to see, is some revs. Tim?
100%.
Everyone wants to see some revs. Which one do you think is going to be the loudest?
LT.
Let's have a look. Okay, so in my 650S now. Tim, if you go to the back, tell me what you think. And all these cars are warm. We've already done lots of filming with them. Now we're in the 675 LT Spider. So far, which one's louder?
LT.
So now we're in the 720S. Nice little plaque here, launch edition. Now this car has a loud start option, so this should win. So we press the start stop button once, then the active button, foot on the brake. Tim, which one was louder?
It's definitely got the loudest start, but I still think the LT overall is the loudest. It does pop, the pop is amazing.
Have a look at this dashboard on the 720, isn't this cool? Digital dashboard. We like that.
Because I'm doing this for the thrill of it, killing it, never not chasing a million things I want. And I am only as young as the minute is full of it, getting pumped up on the little bright things I want. But I know they'll never own me.
Right, we're in my 650S coupe now. I use this car every day. I absolutely love it. It's got independent hydraulic suspension, which makes it really smooth. I was out yesterday driving the Rolls-Royce Wraith, and I think that's probably the only car that's actually smoother than the McLaren. This car's got 641 brake horsepower, 0 to 60 in around 2.9 seconds, 207 miles an hour. You don't need anything faster than this. And for me, I think what makes McLaren really special, apart from the carbon tub and the speed and the suspension, are these doors. We have a nice long runway. Let's show people the runway, Tim. There's nothing in front of us. How often do you get that? So, we're gonna hoon it down here and see how fast we can go. Ready? $50, $70, $90, $100, I can't keep up. I didn't really keep it all the way down because there's quite a lot of stone chips on this disused runway. So let's try the same thing with the 675 LT Spider. So now we're in the 675 LT Spider. Now, how does this car compare to the 650? I drove this up from London last night, so it was a long journey, but I got to enjoy the 675 LT for 3 hours. It feels very similar to the 650S, obviously, as you'd imagine in lots of areas. It just has a little bit more of a raw edge to it, so it sounds a bit louder in the cabin, as you can probably hear. The Spider actually lets in quite a lot of air noise, which isn't nice. I don't know if it's just this car, but it's quite noisy even when the roof is up. The lovely thing about the LT Spider is having the roof down, which I found really nice. I'm going to do it for everyone. It goes up and down really quickly. Looks good with the roof down. We're going to do the high-speed run with the roof down because I think we should. So the 675 LT actually is louder than the 650S. It pops a lot from the exhaust, and the acceleration is a little bit less turbo laggy. So in the 650S, you put your foot down, you feel the turbo lag, and then you take off. In this, you've got less turbo lag, but it's still very aggressive acceleration. We're going to find out now how it compares to the 650 in a straight line. Oh. Air brake. Whoa. to 151. It was a little bit faster. It felt a bit more smooth than the 650. We've got the roof down, which was that was quite an experience. Should we do it with the roof up? Let's do it with the roof up, yeah? Yeah. So here we go. Are we ready, Tim?
We're ready.
Whew. Here we go. This is faster than the 650. Okay. Do you know what we did then, Tim?
I saw 160 come up.
Yeah. I saw 161. 161. My foot was not fully down. So we're in the 720S now, and immediately this car feels so much more luxurious than the other two, especially after getting out the 675LT. The 675LT is really uncomfortable after getting out of the 650. The 650S is really comfortable. 675LT has like these carbon fiber floors and not as much soundproofing. It's much more of a track-focused car. This is a step up even from the 650. It doesn't actually feel like a McLaren anymore. Well, not the McLarens I've had. I've driven a couple of these before, and I drove Ben's one to the TGE collection, and I drove one last Sunday, and it makes such a big difference having a sports exhaust on the car. Okay, so we are going to put this back on the runway and do the high-speed run. Now, this car was picked up on Friday, and Ash has been very kind to lend it to us for filming today, but we can't go over 150 miles an hour. But what we're going to do is we're going to drive up to 150, and we're going to see how quickly it gets there compared to the other two cars. I'm a bit excited, I'm a bit nervous. Got a brand new 720S. Okay, here we go.
It just like pulls your stomach back.
We reached 150 there, about the halfway mark, and the other cars had to get to the start-stop line where the cameraman is to get to 150, 160. Wow, wow, and it's so smooth. You prefer this or the rawness of the 650 and 675?
I like the rawness of the 675, but the spec on this is stunning.
It's insane, isn't it?
Stunning.
£280,000.
Yeah, I'll count my change.
But I know they'll never own me. It looked alright in the pictures. Getting caught out for the trip though, isn't it? I'll fall apart with all my heart, and you can watch from your window.
We've concluded our day now at Bentwaters Park. We've driven all 3 cars. My car isn't in the final lineup because I have a puncture after doing 150 miles an hour trying to keep up with the 675 LT. Now, the result was not what I expected. The 720S annihilated both cars. So the owner of the 720S was very kind enough to bring his car along today. It's only done 430 miles, so thank you to Ash for bringing it along. But to conclude the video today, 650S, great daily driver. 675 LT, I think is a little bit hard for the road. On the track, it's perfect. But the winner today is the 720S. It's fun, it's fast. So you may wonder why I'm wearing this hoodie, and that's because we have a sponsor today who's paying for us to have all this much fun on the track. So I'm going to introduce James because you're going to have the chance to win a prize. James?
Cool, so yeah, we've given you the chance to win £1,000. All you have to do is go to richride.com. Head on over to richride.com.
We'll put the link below.
Yeah, we'll put the link just down there. If you register, make a deposit, every single time you deposit you will get an entry to win the £1,000. Simple as that.
And when do they find out?
Well, we'll announce the winner at the end of January, so stay tuned to the YouTube channel.
888MF.
888MF, of course.
And are they going to get a chance to win some of these hoodies?
Absolutely. So we're in our Christmas special video, you'll get a chance to win some of this amazing merch. So again, tune in, and the only stipulation is you have to be over 18 to enter.
There you go. So you've got a chance to win £1,000 as well as watching all these beautiful cars. Thank you to everyone who brought their cars along. Thank you to everyone involved today, and thank you to Tim, my sexy cameraman, for waking up really early this morning without a hangover.